Hello everybody and welcome back to my Mounjaro journey. It's been a little bit of a hot minute since we've all met. Firstly, thank you so much for all the new subscribers, becoming our Mounjaro buddies and joining the team. It's lovely to have you on board and I hope you're enjoying what you've seen so far. Also, welcome back to all my wonderful Mounjaro buddies that come back week after week, interact, and also you're part of the team now, aren't you? You inspire me, and that's great. I have to get back on here. I have to give myself a push sometimes, but I know that there's people waiting to hear what I've got to say. So, okay, let's crack on. Obviously, first of all, I'm not professional. Nothing I give you is professional medical advice. Go see your doctor, your GP, prescribing pharmacist, nurse, diabetic nurse, whoever who can give you some professional medical advice. Okay, right, so when did we last speak? 27th of June, wasn't it? That's a bit of a time ago, isn't it? We're sort of talking 2 weeks. Sorry, I did lie. Look, I never did my hair. The other half and I were very late getting going that day to the concert, and he has to help me with my hair. Just look, it looks all sort of really strange, and it'll be done. It'll be done. It's just been too hot, hasn't it? How are you dealing with the heat? Especially, whether you're on Mounjaro or not. Are you having trouble with the heat, with your blood sugars or anything like that? And obviously, if you're a large person like me, or even larger than me, that's no shade. I have been a lot larger, as you all know. It's really uncomfortable, isn't it? Are you getting a lot of swelling? Ankle, feet swelling, hand swelling, anything like that? Let me know anyway. So I thought I would start off with, we went to this concert. Now, I went and saw them because it's a bit of a bucket list thing. When I was about 15 or so, I was a punk. I used to have Mohicans. And then I became a goth, and that's where I really stopped. I mightn't look very goth because I don't wear all the makeup. Because when you're fat, why do you do that? I don't know. It doesn't suit me, makeup, when I'm fat. So yeah. So just as I am is perfectly fine at the moment. So we went to see this band called Pill, or Public Image Limited. Lead singer is John Lydon, aka Johnny Rock from the Sex Pistols. So it's a little bit of a bucket list moment. I've never seen them before. They were very local and tickets were cheap compared to a lot of these big bands. So yeah, very happy to go and see them. Consummate professional, and the band were amazing. They really were. And I was expecting him to. I don't always agree with everything he says, all his opinions, but then again, why would we all agree with each other's opinions? It would make an incredibly boring world if we did. So yeah, it was a fabulous night. I really enjoyed it, and I had an on-scale victory. Got to the merch stand at the beginning. I thought, I want to get a t-shirt. I know it won't fit me, and that's how I have been thinking for the last 25 years, maybe a bit longer, maybe 28 years. I'll get a t-shirt. I know it won't fit me, and I have a collection. I have a lot of 80s t-shirts still, my old heavy metal and goth t-shirts, and I've got 90s, more metal because I became a bit more metal with my other half. So things like going to Donington and stuff like that. Skid Row, these were bands I liked. And then got into the 2000s, and we went and saw specific bands. I didn't just go to anything. Went and saw people like The Cure, Alice Cooper, The Damned. Couldn't go in Bauhaus. Who else did we go and see? The Cult. Couldn't go and see a lot because after 2005 I became my mum's carer. which is where a lot of this, it went on. And then when she passed away, it went on even more. I suffered a lot of sickness. So, yeah, I didn't look after myself at all. Anyway, so I have all my old 80s t-shirts, apart from the ones that really were beyond the pale. There wasn't many though, I used to look after them. My 90s t-shirts. Lots in the late 90s, 2000 era down to today that are brand new, in bags, never worn, too small. So it was just what size you got. Guy said, oh, we go up to 2XL. Here we go. Went and saw the Cult last year. All they had was 2XL. Went and saw Darkness in March. All they had was 2XL. You just get used to it. You just buy them. Got the t-shirts. Got the tour t-shirt. Can't wear it. So we were talking about it. The lady next to me said, oh, I think I'm going to need, I think it's going to be a bit big for me. And I said, you have it a little bit big, it's going to be quite too small for me. And we laughed. And as we were doing that, another lady came out the back and she said, can I help you? I said, oh yeah, the guy said it's 2XL's the biggest size. I'll take one of those. I know it's not going to fit. She said, got 3XL. And he said, have we? She said, yes, they're in this box here, and they hadn't been opened because they'd only just set up. So out came the 3XL, and I thought, not going to fit me. I said, yeah, I'll take it, and explain that I've been losing a lot of weight. And I said, whilst it won't fit me now, it will fit me in due course, no doubt. So we had a bit of a laugh over that. Paid my due, went and had the concert, came home. That one day became that evening I got the t-shirt on and it was wearable. Yes, it was a little clingy to my tummy, which I don't like, you know, but it was wearable. If I'd have had nothing else to wear, I could have worn that and it would have been, nobody would have gone around going, that's too tight, that looks ridiculous. It even went down below my lower tummy. So yeah, non-scale Victory. I had to take the car to have its aircon looked at because that packed up, completely packed up. Needs a new compressor and bits and bobs. £1,000, and that's like a nope, that ain't happening. Open the windows. But I had to go in the other half's truck when I left the car up there, and when we went to get the car, and seat belted up in his truck. I haven't been able to do the seatbelt up in his truck for, when did he buy it? 98. And I think I've been able to do it up 3 times in the early days. I can now. Another non-scale Victory. I've got some t-shirts, as I say. I got one from the Cult last year, which is a 2XL, and I've taken some photographs in it to see how I look different. I don't think I do. I won't show them. Maybe later on when it actually looks like there's a difference. And the same with my Darkness t-shirt that I got in March. So I found a t-shirt in a drawer, cleaning out a lot of stuff. Once upon a time I used to throw away a lot of smaller stuff. Now I'm actually looking at stuff that's bigger, that may have got holes in and things, because I you know, keep stuff for poodling around the garden with the dog, and if I'm not going out. I'm sure, I mean, men too, I'm sure you all have this problem with you can't get things, if you're really, really big, you can't always get things that fit. When you get something that fits and it looks okay on you, you keep it, as long as you blooming well can. And even if it's got holes or something, you'll sort of go, yeah, I'll wear that in the garden or around the house when nobody's in, you know. And so I sort of got to the point where I thought, oh, come on, some of these things are way too big for me now, and they've got holes in. I've got, this one's okay. This is quite new, to be fair. This one is really, really big on me now. Really big. last year it just made it over my bottom tummy. Now it hangs down a bit like a dress, down to the middle of my thighs. But I've got some older cotton, and they're cotton, so they're lovely and cool. You may have seen me, there was a pink one. I got lots of different colours because I needed to get the size, not because I wanted the colours. But I've got, I think it's 3 purple ones, pink, couple of pink ones, a navy blue one, orange one, lime green, and some of them have, we lived in a house, not the last one, the previous one, had moths in it, and some of them got a bit attacked by the moths, and I was a bit upset. But because they're cotton and they're cool and I really don't care, it's only going to be used in extreme heat, which I'm not going to be outside walking around with holy t-shirts on. I don't care. I don't care. This one's fine, as I say, it's relatively new. But the other ones, yeah, no. No, I don't mind. They'll stay. But other things, yeah, I might as well get rid of them. There's no point. So I was going through it all. Come back, Mel. You go around the houses a long way, don't you? So I came across a t-shirt I bought back in 2008. Who remembers The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger as the Joker? Okay, now if it's not your film, that's type of film, that's fine. But it is mine. I like Batman. And I think my 3 favourite Jokers are Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson and Cesar Romero. Not so sure about the others, but those 3 are my favourite. And I bought this t-shirt. It's all labelled up inside. The Dark Knight was official. And it had Heath Ledger's face on it, but it was done not as a sort of photorealistic picture, but it's just sort of like slabs of white and the red for his mouth and things. But it's all done in that plasticky stuff, which I don't like because it cracks eventually. But however, bought it in 2008. I could only get extra large. It's sat in my drawer since 2008. I could not get it over my boobs for years. I got it on. It's really tight and it doesn't quite cover my bottom tummy. My bottom tummy. That sounds bad, doesn't it? It doesn't quite cover that, but it's on. And it's a little bit okay round the arm area, so I'm losing a bit here, but it is my tummy. I mean, my tummy is going to be the thing that's going to take for a long time to come down, I think. So that was a non-scale victory. It's on. Now we've got to watch me shrink and see that I can put it on and show you, go, look, it's a little bit loose all over. It's got to happen one day, isn't it? It's got to happen one day. So back to Mounjaro and all the things, the effects it's having on me. First of all, here is yesterday's blood pressure reading. Look at that. I'm really pleased with that, because that is really such a... It's more important in some ways than some of the other things, because your blood pressure is what dictates your heart. And if you get heart disease, you know, it's the whole metabolic system, isn't it, really, we're dealing with. So 5 milligrams, how's it going for me? Well, the suppression is okay. It can be a little bit variable, but I'm trusting the process, as they say. Trust the process. Like I did with the 2.5, if you remember, if you've seen my video, when I think I got to the 3rd pen of 2.5, I'd started to wane with my suppression, and then I started the 3rd, I think it was the 3rd pen. Boy, did I get suppression, and that lasted for quite a time. That was quite a strong suppression in that pen. But yeah, I'm trusting that it goes up and goes down a bit. So, shall we talk about side effects? My headaches have gone when I take it. because that is something. I don't like headaches. I don't like feeling like somebody smacked you over the head. It takes away part of the day as well, doesn't it? If you can't get on with anything and you sort of think, the minute I take it, bang. Actually, not so bad. So they've sort of disappeared now. I think it's the last 2 weeks. Maybe it's the weather that's helping. I don't know. Side effects of constipation is really strong. So what's happening is it's slowing through my stomach, which is going to be affecting my weight a bit, along with water at this time of year. So I've started taking a few prunes to see if I can get things to move. I think I'm probably going to have to take maybe 3 or 4 prunes a day for a little bit to keep things moving through, because I got to the point where I just couldn't for about 3 days. I needed to, but I couldn't. Anyway, let's do the weights. So before I went to the gig and before my birthday, on the 23rd of June, I weighed in at 153.35 kilos. After my birthday, I jumped on the 1st and took the weight then. I was 152.80 kilos, so that was a loss of 0.55 of a kilo, or 1.2 pounds. Okay, which is perfectly fine. That's great. So from the 1st to the 7th of July, which is when I next jabbed, I was 151.35 kilos. That was a total loss of 1.45 kilos for that week. It was a little bit cooler that week as well. 3.2 pounds. So overall there, I've done about 2 pounds a week. The next time I weighed was 3 days later, which was the 10th of July, and I was 151.2, which is a 0.15 kilo or 0.3 pounds loss. So the total loss in that period, which is when I made a video last week, which I didn't get round to, go away fly, get round to editing because I just was just laid out because of the heat. I do apologise. A total loss at that point of £4, 11.84 ounces, which is 4.74 pounds. So nearly £5 over that period. But then, this is where we go. So on the 10th, we weighed 151.2 kilos. On the 11th, we were 151.35. Heat was coming up again. On the 12th, the very next day, don't ask me here, 151.8. I had been to the toilet then. That, my lowest there is 23 stone, 10.46 pounds. But then the next day I was 151.6, so nearly a kilo up. And then today, 152.65. There's only one reason for that, and that's water retention and the heat. Am I worried? No. It might look like I've only lost 1 kilo. If it doesn't all go backwards again, it might look like I've only lost 1 kilo in a month, which is not helpful, but I have lost. I am losing, you know. But this is why we need to weigh every day, because we need to see the pattern of what happens when we get into a situation. Imagine if you'd weighed the previous week and you had been 151.35 and you thought, yeah, that's good, I've lost. And then you weighed in today for your jab and it's 152.65 and you've gone, I've put on 1.3 kilos. How have I done that? But actually, by looking at it every day, you can see the fluctuation in the body weight through water. There's a lot of things, you know, if you have too much potassium, salt, you know, sodium, if you're of an age where you have your periods, just the heat itself makes us, especially when we're bigger, makes us swell. So anyway, I want to do a video on food, what I eat. You don't have to, but look, have a look at this. This is what I had for my brunch today. Not just one cracker. Those crackers, you can have 4 of them for 117 calories, okay? Cottage cheese, again, very lowish calories, even for quite a lot of it. And raspberries. Why would I want to eat that as a breakfast come lunch? Well, we'll talk about that in the next video. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know your non-scale victories. Let me know how your weight is going. Let me know if you've started or you're about to start Mounjaro, or if you're even having trouble being able to get hold of Mounjaro, whether it's privately or through the NHS. Let's have some conversations. Let's open up some conversations and see where we go with it. Okay, I shall catch you later. Take care. Have a good week. Bye.